Good morning to meteorologist Travis Klineski here on this Tuesday morning, where it's been an interesting morning of a lot of cloud cover, but some little bits of clearing here and there, and even some areas of patchy fog, even some isolated dense fog this morning. As we go through the day today, some places will see some sun, others will not. I think your best chance of early sun is going to be right in here. But we've got a lot of low clouds wrapping around an area of low pressure that's going to move into the Tri-City. So even though we've got a little partial clearing in GI and Hastings, it's not going to last long. Your best chance of a little more sun will be in western Nebraska later today. Kind of a mix of clouds and sun, mostly upper level clouds. But again, these very stubborn low clouds, maybe a little partial clearing here and there. But it's going to be a cooler day too. We got that northerly wind, so not exactly a nice day out there for today. Tonight, still some clouds around, and look for maybe some areas of patchy fog again. But as we get towards tomorrow morning, we start to see more clearing. We should see more sun tomorrow. That said, some upper level clouds across southern areas, more sunshine the farther north and west that you go. As we get into Wednesday, it's going to be a nicer day for most of us. So on Wednesday night and a Thursday morning, we start to see that wind flip out of the north, and that's going to bring in some slightly cooler air on Thursday. Not cold, but cooler air, especially up north. And we'll trend cooler as we get towards the end of the week, including a chance of some moisture on Friday for some anyway. But the weekend right now looking really good. We'll talk about all that here in just a bit. Let's start off with today. Again, cooling down today compared to yesterday. But at least for the Tri-Cities, North Platte, this is pretty close to average. Average high is about 50 in the Tri-Cities, 49 to 50 degrees. North Platte, the average high is 52. So we're pretty much spot on for today. Chillier to the northeast, thicker, dense clouds in here. Some sun to the south and southeast, more sun out here to the west and southwest. And so this is where the warmest temperatures I think will be today. Let's take a closer look around the area. We'll start you up in the northwest part of our area. And again, you can see the difference between Spencer and Atkinson with cloud cover and a little partial clearing to the southwest where we could see 53. Some of the nicest temperatures in the far southwest could be close to 60 in Benkelman there. Upper 50s, Imperial, Trenton, Benkelman. Low 50s around North Platte and Gotham area, and more clouds. Thicker clouds in central Nebraska, so only 51 in Kearney, 49 in Loop City. A little more sun here. The rain's moved out now, so no more rain. That rain was earlier this morning. But mid and even upper 50s right in here with a little more sunshine. But as you get into thicker clouds, 51 in York, only 49 St. Paul, 50 in David City. And northeastern areas will be the coolest with a lot of thick clouds. No rain in Columbus, just thick clouds and maybe some patchy fog, but only topping out in the 40s here, maybe low 50s around Blair and Fremont. So that's a look at today's forecast. How about tonight's lows down into the low and mid 30s? That's a little chillier than this morning for most of us, but still above average for this time of the year. Our typical lows this time of the year are now down in the low to mid 20s on average. So this is still about 5 to 10 degrees above average for this time of the year. Looking at your Wednesday, it's going to be one of the better days ahead of us here. Now the weekend is going to be looking pretty good, but at least on Wednesday we've got some pretty decent weather. Temperatures mid to upper 50s and low to mid 60s for highs. It's probably the warmest day that a lot of us see, not everybody though, but a lot of us see during the work week anyway. Looking at Wednesday night into Thursday, mostly low and mid 30s again, maybe some upper 30s in the southeast. Thursday, we kind of start to see the influence of that cooler air diving southward here, so these areas not as warm. Low 50s, mid 50s, and then upper 50s to near 60 in the south and the southeast, so not quite as cool there. Thursday night into Friday morning, down into the upper 20s and 30s for lows, and then Friday, we're going to be cooler. We've got the clouds, we've got the chance of rain. Right now, your best chance of rain, I-80 southward. So we're talking upper 40s and lower 50s, a little more of a chance of maybe some sun here. Could push temperatures to the mid 50s around Valentine and Gordon. But a cool end to the work week. Looking to the weekend, though, I think we've got some really nice weather ahead of us this weekend here. Back into the upper 50s, lower 60s for a lot of us. So, again, cool today. Better weather on Wednesday and Thursday. Cooling back down on Friday. But right now, I'm only going to go a 30% chance of rain for the Tri-Cities. The better chance does look to our south. The weekend looks great. Slightly cooler, but not too bad Monday and Tuesday. But then we trend colder next week. I'm fairly confident that we're going to get cold around Wednesday, Thanksgiving Thursday, and possibly even again on Black Friday. This takes us through Thanksgiving Thursday, the 27th of November there, where it has a high of 34. What's a lot more uncertain right now in that long-range forecast is would we see some snow or not. Forecast models have been split. They've been back and forth on hey, we could stay dry for the holiday, or we could actually see some snow right in here. So I'm not confident enough to say that we will be impacted by wintry weather. I'm just saying be ready, because there could potentially be some, but I am not confident enough to say there will be some there, because there may not. We may get completely missed. North Platte, not a lot of major differences from the Tri-Cities. Tomorrow actually looks really good. That's probably one of the a little bit better than the Tri-Cities there. A little bit of rain, but even then I still, again, think the better chances are south. The weekend looks good. Monday, Tuesday, not too bad next week, but then again, getting colder as we progress into the Wednesday and Thanksgiving Thursday time frame. In fact, the Climate Prediction Center, as we go from the 25th of November all the way to Monday, December 1st, they now have us in the below average category. And keep in mind, end of November into December 1st, average high is in the mid 40s. So below average would be colder than the mid 40s. Moisture-wise, they have us in this above average precipitation. I am still very iffy on this right now, though. Very, very iffy on this. So take this with a big grain of salt right now, because I am not so sure about that here. Let's take a look at the European model now. Again, there's not a lot between now and Friday. Friday's when the chances of rain start to come back into play. It looks like tomorrow things will stay off to our south. But again, here comes late Thursday night into Friday. But notice, it's mostly Kansas that's going to get the rain. Far southern Nebraska. But as you go north of Interstate 80, I don't think we'll see much moisture there. And then it moves on out. The weekend, great. Lots of sunshine. Looking really good. What happens beyond that? Again, Monday and Tuesday's temperature still looking okay, but we may see a little cooler air and some rain, but not cold enough for snow right now. But then again, as we get towards Thanksgiving, do we get any moisture? The European model has said no, and the European model has been a little more consistent with lower chances of moisture around Thanksgiving and Wednesday and Thanksgiving here. So that gives me hope, because the European tends to be more accurate. The GFS has been back and forth with each model run. The latest model is backing off on snow. The two models prior to that were showing heavy snow for parts of our area around Wednesday and Thursday of next week. This is one of the latest models here. Let's take a look first off. We'll go through this week. Let's go to Friday. The GFS is keeping all that rain in Kansas and southward here. Barely has anything in Nebraska. Weekend looks good. Monday and Tuesday not bad, but here comes some moisture by Monday night into Tuesday. We'll see. I'm iffy on that. Does show some snow Wednesday, especially northern Nebraska, but it has backed off on more of a widespread, heavier snowfall. But does have another chance there Thursday to our southeast, so it's in the vicinity right now. But that said, this model run, which came out overnight, has backed off on snow. The model that came out yesterday evening and the one that came out yesterday afternoon, those were more aggressive with the snow. This one has backed off. So, and then I think the Canadian model, if I remember right, I think the Canadian, which I don't have access to in my weather graphics, the Canadian model right now is keeping us mainly dry for next week. So I'm hopeful that even though we are going to get colder next week, we're going to avoid any of the big time wintry weather. We'll see though. I'm not guaranteeing that. So look at the temperature trends. Again, we are cooler today. You can see the little bit of blue over top of us. Better tomorrow. Slightly cooler on Thursday. Friday cooler yet. The weekend though looks great. And then as we jump into next week, Monday and Tuesday still not too bad, but then again getting colder. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday right there. We're getting colder, so we're going to get some. I'm pretty confident in the cold next week around the Thanksgiving holiday. Again, cooler today. The GFS has us cooler today. Warming up a bit on Wednesday. Thursday still not too bad. Friday cooler. The weekend looks pretty good right now, Saturday and Sunday. Monday and Tuesday aren't too bad, but then again, it starts to get colder by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So, and again, it's not brutal cold. We're not talking about an Arctic blast. We're not talking about sub-zero lows. We're not talking about highs only in the single digits and teens. We're talking 30s. So cold, but not brutal cold as we get further into next week. So I'm pretty confident in some chilly temperatures. I'm not as confident in the moisture right now for next week. There you go. I'm going to have to leave it at that. I want to thank you all for watching on this Tuesday morning. I'll be back with you all on Facebook Live and on YouTube tomorrow, and on KSNB Local 4 and KNOP News 2. I'll be back with you on Wednesday morning with all the latest. Take care, and God bless. Bye.